offer from there. Next slide. All right, guys. So getting started with Smile and Dial calls. When you first log into the Elevate Marketing screen, this is going to be the screen that you're going to see. Over to the left, you've got a sidebar or a hamburger menu that you can actually click on promotions, and you'll be able to send email and SMS campaigns. And then you've also got click here to start making calls. So you'll click on outbound calling. That'll take you to your kind of like your calling hub, so to speak. And then for those that don't know, over in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little tiny chat bubble where you can actually chat with a live representative and get any answers or assistance that you may need if something were to happen and Candace or myself weren't available to answer any quick questions that you might have. And then over on the far left, you'll see a few requirements. So as most of you know, in order to make Smile and Dial calling, there's a yearly customer privacy and do not call training that has to be completed for anyone assigned to the location that you're working at. And if you don't make that call, Smile and Dial, or if you don't complete that training, Smile and Dial calling will not be enabled for that location until that is complete. So whenever we get that call, you get that call from Candace or myself, or we drop those messages in group chat every year. You see that DNC training pop up. That means it's time to get it knocked out. Quicker you get it knocked out, quicker we can ensure that your Smile and Dial capabilities will continue. And then all calls must be made as well from the store phone, not your personal cell phone. So there's never going to be a situation where you will be able to make Smile and Dial calls from your personal cell phone, just so we're clear. It always has to be the store phone. And then once you go past, so once you click on that outbound calling button, you'll have the option to select your location if you're a multi-dealer location. If you're not, you'll automatically just select on your one store. But once you click on that and you select your location, you'll come into this screen. This is where you have your 3 buckets. Now, as you can see here, you see your 3 different types of calls. You've got your welcome call, your optimization and retention, your customer follow-up call. Then you've got a breakdown within each bucket showing 7 days versus 14 days. And as they move through, as you call them, if they don't pick up, they may move on to the 14-day bucket, and so on and so forth. I've already explained why all 3 of these are important and how to utilize them. So next slide. All right. And as I was saying, whenever you go in, you'll see your locations. If you click on outbound calling, you'll see your locations. As you can see there where it says select a location. And in that sidebar where it says call manager, select call manager, and then select your location from the drop-down menu. And then from there, up in the top right-hand corner of this slide, where it says select generate list to get a list of customers to call. So under your welcome call, you'll just click generate list. And then from there in the bottom right-hand corner, select call to generate the details for that call. So all you got to do is click on call, and then it'll take you to the next screen. And from there, you'll be able to see the details that you're going to need to make, or that you'll need to have in order to make a proper call. Now, in the back one slide. And then in the bottom left-hand corner under note, there are a few items to note. So all calls, welcome to the call, Mr. Carrera. I see you out there, brother. All calls must be made through the Griffin calling tool. So whenever you call, the Griffin calling tool is a automated dialing system that we have to use in order to, one, properly follow the regulations set forth by the government in order for us to be able to use this handy dandy tool. So that's an important one. You always have to call through the Griffin dialing tool. And then after every single call, you're going to have to hang up. Now, I know at the end of each call, it will tell you to please dial a new number. Don't do that. If you continue to dial numbers after you make that first call, it is only going to register the first original call that you made. It will not register the phone. You can make 100 calls after that. That won't matter. You have to hang up after every call. And then all calls must be dispositioned through Griffin and through Elevate Marketing. This is where even I get hung up on it sometimes, because when you're in the moment, you're on the phone, you finish talking to the customer, you just want to hit that end button. Don't do that. The best thing you can do, keep your finger on the mute button instead of the end button when you're making Smile and Dial calls. That way, just through muscle memory, instead of hitting that end button when you're done talking to the customer, you're naturally going to hit that mute button. And then once it's muted, you can take a second and say, okay, now I need a disposition. Let me disposition on the computer. And then the Griffin dialer will actually walk you through what buttons you need to push in order to disposition on the phone. After the customer hangs up, just press pound to disposition through Griffin. It'll start that disposition process. And then any customer that requests to be added to the customer privacy or the DNC list must be added. This is a requirement. This is not an ask. It is an absolute requirement. If you're calling a customer through Smile and that customer says, please do not call me again, or please add me to your do not call list, you're federally required to add that customer to the do not call list so that they can be removed from our system. We want to make sure that we're following all legal rules and regulations, because if that is abused, then ultimately we could end up either being fined as a brand, or we could end up losing the ability to make these calls to begin with, which I can assure you our competitors, Metro Cricket, they do not have the ability to do this. This is a privilege and a right, and we want to make sure that we're following those rules accordingly. And then lastly, calls can only be made from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. A lot of you probably already ran into this before, where you'll go to call, you're like, okay, it's the end of the day, I got a few minutes, let me make a Smile and Dial call, and then you go to dial and it doesn't work because we're open from obviously that window from 6 to 7 as well. But it does shut off at 6 p.m. So this is something you want to prioritize earlier on in your day. Just go ahead and get it knocked out. And it's not like a check mark item. We don't want you to look at Smile and Dial as, okay, let me go make 10 calls. No. I can tell you now, most of the account executives, I'm pretty sure, would agree with me. I would rather you make 5 quality Smile and Dial calls that are genuine and effective over you getting on the phone and saying, all right, let me make 10 calls and just make very generic, unhelpful calls. So make sure it's all about perspective, guys, when you're doing this. Remember, at the end of the day, you're there to help your customer, and ultimately you're there to possibly make a few extra dollars as well, which I know we all love. So yeah, calls from 10 to 6. Okay, and on to the next slide. Smile and Dial before you call. So over to the left, you will see all of the customer's account detail, at least the information that you will need in order to properly make a call. You can see the device name, the plan they're on, the next time they have a bill due, if they're on auto top up, if they're on installment billing, if they're on a family plan, the language that they prefer, what network they're on, and if that account is currently active. You're going to want to review that information in order to use that for talking points during the call. And then over on the side of the screen in the blue square, you do have a few recommendations that might help kind of prep you for that call before you start it. I found a few of them to be helpful. Obviously, remember to smile. I can tell you now, you can hear smile through the phone, 100%. If you're down on yourself and you're feeling, everybody has a bad day, we try to leave that at the door, right? I do it myself sometimes. So remember to smile. That's an important one. Make sure you listen closely to the customer and answer their questions thoroughly. That's an important one. This call is more about establishing a relationship rather than selling. Always keep that in mind. That's the biggest one. Make sure you articulate the offers, but there is no need to be pushy. If a customer is interested in an offer, make sure you schedule a time frame for them to come in and see you, and always be considerate of the customer's time and thank them for speaking with you. Only let the phone ring 4 or 5 times. You must wait a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 5 rings if calling Puerto Rico before disconnecting an unanswered call. And this call must not be recorded or monitored. And then remember to disposition the call and the call on the phone and on the screen. On the phone, press pound to enter into the disposition menu. And then also, lastly, it is important to assure your customer their shopping experience is safe. If they have any additional precautions or policies in place at your store to prevent the spread of COVID-19, please review them with your customer prior to their visit. And then lastly on this slide, in the bottom left-hand corner, you're just going to click show number, and it's going to take you to the next screen. And then a few pro tips here. So after clicking show number, the button that you just seen in the bottom left-hand corner, You're going to take a few seconds to observe the device, the rate plan, the number of lines the customer currently has, all displayed right below the phone number. So that's that information I was kind of showing you through a little bit. It's hard to have a conversation about something if you don't have a lot of information, but we're arming you with that information before you even go into the call, which makes that call run a lot more smooth. And then assuming store uses Elevate properly, you can also enter the phone number into Elevate under the customer's tab in Elevate to see additional details such as customer name, payment history, and sales history. And then lastly, for loyalty calls, bottom right category, 100 plus days of service. You can also enter a phone number into the ePay as if payment will be made to see if they are Boost Up eligible. Again, another talking point. Cancel out to ensure no payment is actually made. Next slide. All right. So making a call, 5 questions before the call. What device does the customer have? What plan do they have? How many lines do they have? Do they currently have a Boost Up? What is the mission of the call? Welcome, bill pay, accessory offer. All right. And then Josh, can you come off mute and please tell me why this is why these 5 questions are important, sir? We'll pick on you a little bit there, Gator fan.
I don't care about you picking on me.
Why are these important, bro?
Hold on, pull them up. I'm trying to look at them. I'm on my phone. The device tells a lot about the customer as far as what they do with it.
Yep.
The plan, they tell you they need more data, or possibly, I mean, if they get even how long they've been with us, how much they're paying a month, maybe increase the plan to the 60. How many lines they have, how many lines it leaves opportunity for add line.
Yep.
Did they currently have Boost Up? The Boost Up part is, I mean, let's see how long they've been with us. And if they qualify to Boost Up, they can get a better phone and just pay it off monthly. It gives them that option. It's only for exclusive customers. And the mission for the call is simply just to try to keep the customer happy, keep them here, and bring more people to us.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
Great job.
Very good answers. Very good answers.
Great job, John.
Thank you.
All right. And then, all right. So moving on, call instructions. Using an approved device, please call the Griffin service, and it gives you the 1877 number to make outbound calls using the PIN, which you see below in the little black box. When prompted, enter your campaign ID, which is 20, and then you hit pound. So this is not complicated, guys. You dial the 1-800 number, and then it's going to ask for your PIN. Can you go back? Okay, there we go.
Sorry.
You're going to ask for. Then it's going to ask for your PIN, and then it's going to ask for your campaign ID. The campaign ID is almost always 20. If ever something happens and you enter a PIN, for whatever reason, every now and then you might run into a situation where it says the PIN is invalid. If it does that, you can hit this blue link right below this black box that says request a new PIN, and it'll automatically change it for you because these PINs do cycle out. They're not always the same. So you can hit request a new PIN and just hit that, and it'll give you a different PIN, and more than likely the second one will probably work. If you ever run into a situation where you're requesting a new PIN and neither PIN is working, then that's where you would want to use that little chat bubble that you've seen in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen at the beginning of the call to chat with a representative and maybe get some assistance on why it's not working. Next slide. All right, so a few more helpful hints. The energy and enthusiasm in your voice will make or break each phone call. That's very, very true. I mean, how many times can we think of that we've had a telemarketer or someone call us where maybe we would have given them a chance, right, to get their pitch out, but they just sounded like they were having a bad day, and you're like, you know what? I'm in the middle of something. I was gonna give you a shot, but you don't even sound like you want to be on the phone with me, and then hang up, right? So have fun with it, guys. That's the whole point, right? If we're gonna be here 8, 9, 10 hours a day, let's make it fun, right? So have fun with it. Have an optimistic mindset when making each call. We're the only prepaid provider that can make calls. I mentioned that earlier. Cricket can't do this. Metro can't do this. This is a way for you to have fun at your job. This is a way for you to make extra money. And this is a way to make your customers' experience 10 times better than what it would have been. It helps separate us from the rest. And our customers appreciate our follow-up. Start the call, making sure to state your name and the location of the local store from which you are calling in the first sentence to help bring down any concerns of a robocall. All right, we get 1 million of those a day, so that's important. Let's kind of set that expectation up front that we're not a robot. We're here to help. This is your local Boost Mobile store. Example, hi, this is Emily from your local Boost Mobile store on the corner of Michigan and Main Street. Thank you for taking my call. Just a little bit of energy, a little bit of enthusiasm. Within the first few sentences, use the information gathered before the call to ensure the customer knows that you are not just cold calling, but have information about them and their account with Boost. Example, Olivia, I see that you're on our unlimited plan with a Stylo 6. How's your phone working for you so far? Not hard, right? All right, next slide. All right, so now, towards the end of the call, that's where you get towards the dispositioning phase of the call. Again, this is important. If you do not disposition any of your calls, I'm going to walk into your store and be like, why haven't you been making Smile and Dial calls? What's going on? So got a disposition on the phone and the computer. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see all of your options on how to properly disposition a call. You must select the customer. If the customer asks to be added to the DNC, which we discussed earlier, they're requesting not to be contacted. So that would be the #0#. And you would do that. You would select the top one, and then you would do that exact action on the phone as well. So that's where, all right, Mr. Smith, thank you very much. Have a good day. Mute, and then #. The mute is to give you a second to kind of collect your thoughts on how you want to disposition the call. It doesn't make it to where the process feels rushed. So mute, #0#. Select it on the screen, and then move forward from there. And then you can go ahead and hang up, and you can start your next call. After the customer hangs up, press #, and then disposition the number that corresponds with the outcome of the call. Example, if you left a message on the phone, dial #1#, and then hang up the phone. The dialer will prompt you to dial another phone number, but you must hang up between calls. After dispositioning on the phone, select the outcome of your call, and then click Disposition Call. That little orange button that's kind of hidden behind the blue line there. All right, next slide. All right, guys, so best practices. These are important. Listen up. Personality. It's a big one, right? We ain't got personality. If we sound like a lump on a log, they're probably going to hang up on us. That's what we don't want. Make a genuine customer connection. So you think about it. What's a genuine customer connection look like? Martha, can you come off mute, please, ma'am? Tell me what it means to make a genuine customer connection. Nothing?
Maybe she's making one right now. She could be with a customer.
That's exactly what's probably going on.
You got to
Josh, what's it mean to make a genuine customer connection?
What?
What's it mean to make a genuine customer connection?
You got to use your sexy voice.
This guy. All right. So having a sense of humor, that's one way to make a genuine customer connection, right?
Yeah, I told you.
So talk to them like they're people, guys, right? They're your customers. They're the people that you see on a monthly basis in your store. Just remember, they're people. Have a genuine conversation. It's not hard. They come into the store, we make a customer connection. It's genuine. I'm always preaching that to my team, right? They come into the store or they're on the phone. Talk to them like they're people. That's the easiest way to sell to somebody. Just show your personality and make a connection with them. They're people at the end of the day. Positioning yourself from a customer service perspective. So always, 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 if you've got your customer's best interest in mind, you can't go wrong. It's impossible. As long as you're taking care of your customer, that's what matters most, is that they walk out the door or they get off the phone with us happy because of the fact that we positioned our entire conversation, our entire interaction was based around their needs and the fact that they're important. Don't make sales your priority when making these calls. Again, kind of goes back to that customer service perspective. Sales is kind of the afterthought, right? If we make that call and we kind of fill it out and we feel like, they specifically mentioned that they needed a Bluetooth speaker, then by all means, make an accessory pitch. But at the end of the day, the whole purpose of this call is to make sure that they're happy with their phone, they're happy with their service, and to make sure that there's nothing we can do to improve on their service. Setting the expectation that you will be following up in a month to make sure that they are still happy, right? So in a month, sir, ma'am, in a month, I'm going to be probably reaching back out just to touch base with you again to make sure that there's nothing that happens in the next month that might cause any issues. So you can expect a call from me. I just want to kind of set that expectation up front. So when you see this number pop up on your caller ID, go ahead and answer it. It's not a sales call. We're just calling to make sure that you're happy with your phone, make sure you're happy with your service. See if there's maybe anything we can do to improve it. Don't troubleshoot the phone over the phone. Invite them into the store, right? That's a big one, guys. Now look, I got a million of y'all I know that hear they hear the word Smiling Doll and they're like, oh, God, that's just going to be customers yelling at me. I don't want to do this. You're making it more complicated than it has to be, team. Make the calls. Don't be intimidated by it. At the end of the day, if they are complaining about anything under the sun, right? I don't care what it is. Sir, ma'am, I apologize. I hate to hear that you feel that way. But what I want to do is I want to take a moment to invite you into the store. This is unfortunately not something that I can troubleshoot over the phone, but I want to invite you into the store so that I can physically put hands on that device and see what I can do to get this issue resolved for you. This is important to me. It's important to Boost, and I want to get it corrected, but unfortunately I can't do it over the phone. So why don't we go ahead and get you an appointment set up today that best suits your needs so that we can get you into the store. Right? Not hard. Work with management to see if you have like old model phone accessories that you can offer for free or at low cost to invite a customer into the store as like a customer appreciation offer, right? Now, at the end of the day, we've already talked about the fact that the whole purpose of a call is customer service and to get them into the store, right? We want them to come to the store. Every living, breathing soul that walks through your front door is an opportunity to sell. I don't care if it's a customer or a UPS guy, right? Everybody uses cell phones. It's that simple. So at the end of the day, something as simple as hey, you know what? I see you've got an old phone. Why don't you bring it in? I want to clean maybe some of the old apps off of it, clean it up a little bit for you internally and externally. I'm going to get your phone cleaned up. And I'll tell you what, while you're here, I'm going to go ahead and give you a free case because I actually have an older case that's still brand new that'll fit your phone perfectly. And then you know what's going to happen when they come in? You're going to talk them into an upgrade because that's how we do it, right, guys? Remind customers about any loyalty programs that we may have, i.e. Boost Perks. Now, I know it's been a while since we've really talked about Boost Perks. Not sure why. It's a phenomenal program, but I don't hear it mentioned a lot in stores. You know, you get those customers, I've been with you for 10 years. What is Boost doing for me? How come I don't get poured in pricing? Mr. Customer, I have great news for you. We actually do offer something for our loyal customers because you are important to us. We actually offer an app called Boost Perks where we are repeatedly and constantly offering free pizza, free Monster energy drinks, discounts on movie tickets and theme parks, and a whole slew of other awesome perks that you are able to take advantage of because of the fact that you're a Boost Mobile customer. And then lastly, again, customers can hear a smile through the phone. That is factual information. If you're down on yourself, if you're mopey, you might want to make your calls in the second half of the day, well, after you've had a little opportunity to get a drink of coffee, right? And that'll kind of push you through that little bit of a mood that you might be in, so that you can kind of get a smile on your face, get a little pep in your step, get a little energy to yourself. So that's an important one, guys. If you can't smile when you're on the phone, I prefer you not be on the phone until you can smile. It's that important. Next slide. All right. So now Miss Candace and I are going to do a little role play, just kind of show you guys what that interaction looks like, exactly how simple it can be. Now remember, this. I want to preface this role play with something, guys. Earlier I mentioned the fact that that when you're doing Smiling Doll calls, there's a million scenarios, right, of different customers that might be aggravated or upset about something, right? At the end of the day, Candace could throw me anything she wants to. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if her dog is pulling on her landline phone and she's trying to talk on the phone and she's upset and pissed off about it and she's just having a bad day. and her phone's not been working, the battery's not lasting all day, the screen's cracked. It doesn't matter what it is, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how upset she is. I'm gonna apologize. I'm gonna show empathy to her issue, and then you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna invite her into the store. It's literally that simple. Doesn't matter what the scenario is. Apologize, show empathy, invite them into the store, right? The whole purpose is to verify that they're happy with their phone, they're happy with their service, and then if they're not happy with their service, invite them into the store. And then if you feel that call out and you feel like, hey, there might be, I hear kids in the background and this call went really well, maybe I can make a pitch on an out line. Maybe there might be a need, right? If there's not a need, no big deal. If they don't want the offer, no big deal, right? That's why we're making multiple calls. But fill the call out and understand that at the end of the day, no matter what they throw at you, all you're going to do is invite them into the store. We handle customers day in and day out that come into the store with issues, right? This is no different. We're just inviting them to bring that issue to the store so that we actually have an opportunity to put hands on it and get it corrected. All right, Candace, let's do this.
All right. So I'm the customer. You're the person making the call. So go ahead.
All right, I'm making the call. All right, so let me pull up, dialing in my Griffin dialer right now. All right. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, this is Rodney at your local on Edgewood Avenue. How are you doing today?
I'm good. What's up?
Fantastic. Hey, listen, I just wanted to take a second to reach out to you. I see that you actually joined us a couple weeks ago. You got an LG Stylus 6, and I see that you're also on a family plan. I literally just wanted to take a moment of your time today, real quick, to make sure that you're happy with your new Stylus 6, make sure you're happy with your phone service that you're receiving, and see if there's anything maybe we here at Boost Mobile might be able to do to better your situation, make your experience with us a little bit better.
Well, since you called, I am experiencing a problem in my house. I'm having a problem with service. The internet's not working very well inside my home. So, I don't know
that's terrible.
what to do.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything you can do to fix that. But other than that,
well, you know what? I hate to say it, but unfortunately, there's nothing that I can really do about it over the phone. But what I think there might be, we've got some network settings that we might be able to maybe adjust on your phone to make your service a little bit better inside your house. And I actually might be able to show you how to take advantage of a few apps that you can use over Wi-Fi to make calls as well. So what I want to do is I want to invite you into the store so that I can physically take hands and put hands on that device and see what I can do to get that corrected, because I can tell you your experience with our service is of the utmost importance at Boost. So yeah, maybe we can set an appointment. Is there a time later in the week where I might be able to get you in to take a look at that device?
Yeah, I mean, I could probably stop by on my way out off work, Friday, so probably around 5.
Friday at 5? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Ms. McClary, I'm going to go ahead and put you down for Friday at 5 o'clock. Okay. Again, this is your local Boost Mobile store, Edgewood. You have our phone number. If anything comes up, I want you to go ahead and give us a call if you can't make it in on Friday, and we can reschedule. But otherwise, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and see you on Friday. We'll get that issue corrected, and I think you'll be much happier from that point on. How's that sound?
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you. Thanks for calling, actually. I appreciate it. You have a
Absolutely.
good one. All right. Bye.
All right. And mute. I'm not hanging up. Remember, guys, this is where I'm muting. Mute. The disposition you call on the computer, disposition on the phone.
Yep.
It's not hard. All right. Does anyone have any comments or questions?
Yeah, you weren't smiling in that smiling dial.
I was too.
And not all customers are like that.
I could not hear your smile through the phone, Rodney. I couldn't hear the smile.
Ouch, Rodney.
Work on that.
No, I think he did, pretty good. Another thing I want to point out too with the network, situation. So I know we've put it out, but sometimes we all forget. But in the My Boost app, you can actually log a trouble ticket where the customer's having that issue. So you could suggest that over the phone or have them come in and you can help them log a ticket for where they're at. So that's another thing. Also, what Rodney brought up is great, using other apps over Wi-Fi. That might have also been an opportunity to figure out if she had, Wi-Fi in her home, if she might need that, for any other purpose with Xfinity that we offer in our store. So, just a couple things to keep in mind with that. So, but any other questions or feedback?
What do you got, guys? Hit me. We got 39 people on this call.
Not all customers are like Candace, Rodney.
Do what?
Not all customers are like Candace. She was nice.
Hey, okay. Look, at the end of the day, I understand there's going to be people that are pissed off.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't change the scenario, guys. That's a thing. I understand. People will be upset. That's normal. You're going to get customers that are absolutely hate our service, right? At the end of the day, the process is the same. You apologize. You come from a point of empathy, and you invite them into the store to correct the issue. And if they don't want to come to the store, hey, you know what? It is what it is.
You do what you do.
I'm going to invite you into the store. And if at the end of the day you don't want to come, that means I can't help you any further. But that's not going to change the situation. At the end of the day, you've still invited them into the store. And if they say, I can't make it in, or I don't want to come in, all right, well, if at any point you change your mind and you feel like you can make it in, or you do want to come back in, I would love to have you. I want to make that incredibly clear. You're welcome here. It's a safe environment. We're sanitizing on a regular basis, and we're following all COVID protocols, local and federal COVID protocols, to make sure that you're coming into a safe, clean environment. So if at any point, Mr. Carrera, your situation changes, I would love to invite you into the store. I'd love to have you here. It's that simple, right? Don't make it harder than it has to be.
All right, guys. So we're going to move on. So now we're going to dive a little bit into CDMA migration. This is obviously something you've probably heard about already, but we're going to dive into it, make sure we're all on the same page, and talk about some strategies and why this is so important to help our customers migrate. So as you guys know, starting on the 16th, we started a free SIM card offer. This is now popping up in ePay when you go to take a bill, which we'll show a little bit later in the slides. This is also something that does not reset their upgrade eligibility. They don't need their handset. So these are customers that have a TN capable handset already, so they don't need to get a new phone. This is, again, the opportunity is in ePay, and it's also in the sales portal in the customer's account. And we'll dive into that a little bit more. So there's a couple ways that we're trying to get the word out, and there's ways that you guys can also help us as well, and that's what we're going through. So in Smile and Dial, when we talked in the very beginning, we had outbound calling, and we also had promotions. So when you click on promotions, you can see some of these offers are preloaded. So I do want to note, if there is anything involving a discount off of an accessory, please just double check with your dealer, owner, or manager to make sure you're allowed to offer that. But the free SIM card offer you can offer. So whenever you have the opportunity, just dive in there. You can set these up pretty easily. Some of the changes to the sales portal, we used to have the stop sign and the green check, but we've now changed it to these new icons. So this first icon here is network upgrade eligible. This is the easiest one probably that we have. This is just a customer needs a new SIM card. This one is the customer does need a new device to get on the new network. This one is a network upgrade eligible, but a plan change will be needed. Now I'm going to pause here and note that in all three of these scenarios, the customer does not need to pay their bill again. So that's why there's not a stop sign. Now we're going to move into situations where a customer might have to change their plan and therefore pay their bill again. So if you see this in the customer's account, new device, new network with the big stop sign plan change, the customer must select a new plan and then they can swap to a new phone. This situation, the customer is network upgrade eligible, not needing a new phone. However, they do need to plan change for their entire family before they can get the new SIM card. And then in this situation, you're going to need to both change the plan and upgrade the phone in order to get on the new network. So, is there any questions about these icons before I move on? The last one's probably the most important one. I've had a few people have already run into this scenario. If you see this SN only, it is legit SN only. Now, it probably has to do with the customer's phone number. We've ran into this for customers from the Virgin Islands, I believe. So just make sure that if you see this, sadly, they would have to get a new number, probably a new account with address and everything in order to get a new phone. Okay. All right, so Smile and Dial for CDMA migration opportunity. So the first part of this call, we talked about the 3 boxes for optimization. So those are customers that just activated with us recently, and we're checking in with them. This customer loyalty box, the 4th call, this 4th box is honestly probably the most resourceful that you're going to have as far as, you know, tracking down customers for upgrades and getting them into the store for this migration opportunity. So when you log in and you click on customer loyalty calls, there is a section for network. You can actually click on the word network and it's going to sort them for you. And that's where you can see what customers you have that are still on the Sprint network. Okay. This is really important, guys, that we really start moving these customers over. These customers, you know, need to be put on the new network if they have, of course, coverage. So make sure you're checking the coverage. But we really want to do that as soon as possible. Okay. So just for your reference, of course, we'll also be sending this out too. But for your reference, we have these devices here that are T-Mobile capable that were on the Sprint network. So as you're, again, sorting through, you can see what the device type is so that you can help target these customers. You can also, you know, help when they walk into your store for potentially troubleshooting opportunities, right? Make sure you're always pulling up a customer's account. If you're troubleshooting an A20, for example, you can take a look and see if they're network upgrade eligible, check their coverage, and then go ahead and process the upgrade for them, okay? All right. So,
real quick, Candace.
Yes.
Hey, so one of the questions that keeps coming up for me is if a customer walks in and they are on a family plan, sometimes the reps are afraid to upgrade the SIM card because they feel like they have to have all the devices in store. That is not true, correct?
So it's only going to be that situation when you see this in their account. So when you see those stop signs right there, because it will require a plan change, you don't need to have all the phones in the store, but you will need to change their plan, and then you can swap the one device to a new TN network. You do not have to do all of them. But again, if you see that stop sign, you will have to change their plan and make them pay their bill again. If you see this icon and they're on a family plan, but there is no stop sign here, then in this situation, you can go ahead and process that network upgrade and there will be no issue. So does that answer your question?
Fantastic, thanks.
Excellent. Thank you for the question. That was a great question. Anybody else before we move on? All right, so as some of you have already probably seen, we have Smile and Dial Appointment Scheduler. This allows you to set appointments and improve the customer experience by being ready for them. Also help streamline your day, improve customer loyalty, and help with the CDMA migration. That's probably the bigger point here. So as you dive in, it's pretty simple. When you disposition the call for set appointment, it's going to pop up some options. You want to click, if you're doing a CDMA migration, the upgrade switch to TN, and then go ahead and set the time and have the customer's name. Again, with the appointments, when you need to pull them up to see what you have for the day, you can go into Smile and Dial, click on outbound call, click on appointments, and then it's going to pull up a list. You can then download that list and see who made the appointment, what time they're coming in, and for what customer. All right, so we're going to talk about the Smile and Dial call for CDMA migration. So now that we know how to find those in our Smile and Dial customer loyalty, we're going to talk about how do we make that call. We're going to do a quick little role play. So now I will be making the call. Rodney will be my customer who's eligible to upgrade to the new network. Okay, so you ready, Rodney?
Of course.
All right, so ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hi, Rodney, right? This is Candace from the Boost Mobile down the street from you off of Main Street. You came into our store not too long ago. I think probably paid a bill, but I'm reaching out to you today because I noticed you are not on our enhanced expanded data network. And I just wanted to see if I can invite you into the store and give you a free SIM card to upgrade your experience on your device. Is that something that you might be interested in?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know you guys had a new network. That actually sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely. All we got to do is swap your SIM card. It only takes a few minutes and it's not going to cost you anything today. So can I set an appointment with you for, sometime in the next few days, whatever time is good for you?
Yeah, I'd love to. You said it was free?
Yeah, it's free SIM card.
Yeah.
We just want to make sure you have the best experience for what you're paying.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I got Friday at 1. Is that a good time?
Friday at 1. Yeah, I think that should work.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put you down for an appointment. And again, Rodney, thank you for being a customer, and I look forward to seeing you.
Okay, thanks so much. I appreciate the call.
All right, you have a great day.
You too.
All right, bye. Okay, guys, so in this example, I had done research on this customer. I was able to kind of look up and see that they've been paying bills in my store. So I already knew his name, and I was able to use that to connect with the customer so they don't think it's a cold call, okay? So does anybody else have any feedback or any questions about how that call went down? Quiet. Does anybody else have a different phrase or something that they would say if they were making that call that they think would be better? We're all about sharing best practices.
I like to tell them about like the surf and talk at the same time. I like to tell them like an extra benefit or something while I'm on the phone to give them more of a reason to come get it and check it out.
Good call out. Yeah, I actually forgot to mention that. So great. And again, hey guys, it happens. That's why you got to practice. And the more you do these calls and share best practices with everyone, then, the better you'll get at them. So thank you for that feedback. Anybody else? So I got just a little bit of a prize here, something really, really neat, something I'd like to do with you guys. I would like to see if there is a brave soul out there for a Boost Mobile Tervis, really, really nice, cup here. If somebody would like to do that role play with us again and be the sales rep, somebody want to give that a shot? Anybody up for it?
I know somebody wants that thing. It's nice and shiny.
I will. I will.
Oh, William.
All right. Awesome, Will. I appreciate it. All right. So you're going to call me and I'll be the customer. And you tell me why I should come in and get a new free SIM card. Sound good?
All right. I'll do my best. All right.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm calling.
Oh, hello.
Hi, this is me, William, from your local Boost Mobile stores. I see that you have paid your bill a few times with me, and I wanted to know, how is your service?
It's okay. It works for the most part.
I wanted to let you know that we are on a new network, and I would like to invite you into our store to experience the greater and better network. And it's free of charge. I got a SIM card here for you. When do you think you can come stop by on your free time?
Um, Dang, free SIM card. So what's so good about this new network?
Well, you can do a lot, multiple things. So if you were the type of person that is always on the phone call and surfing the internet, that's a plus. That's something that we upgraded in our network.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Well, dude, that's worth it. Sign me up. How about tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Okay. What time would you like to come in tomorrow?
Probably like 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Okay. I'll see you at 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, great job. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well
Very
done.
good job, Will. Proud
I'm
of
gonna
you,
make
brother.
sure Rodney gets this to you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're going to move on a little bit. So just a quick overview on how to process these migrations. So when you go into Elevate, you always want to process these in Elevate. You'll start with the existing account. You'll then go and click on SIM swap. And this is very important to make sure that this is what you're clicking on for accurate commissions and inventory tracking. Okay. So you'll click on that. And then it's going to take you into the customer's account. You'll have that option to go into the account. And then you're going to click on network upgrade. And then it's going to pop this up here. It's still important for those of you who've been around and remember our initial migration last year that we're checking firmware. So you want to make sure that's up to date. And then you're going to input the new SIM card and go ahead and click update. You'll go ahead and just finish your normal activation flow as you guys are normally familiar with, and then you'll hit submit. At this point, you'll then want to download to POS. This is extremely important, guys, because this is what's going to help adjust the SIM price to free and make sure that we're still depleting the SIMs from your inventory so that there's an accurate count, okay? We don't want to just be giving them away. So then when you get to this screen, it's going to pop up this box. There's a box to the far left. You'll see it's highlighted in red. You want to make sure that's unchecked. Then you can go ahead and click OK. That is what is going to switch the price to 0. It's not actually a coupon like I think some of us originally thought it was. So just make sure you uncheck that. You hit OK, and then it's going to zero out that SIM card for your customer. Okay, so that is basically it. Before we wrap up, the couple of things. So we want to make sure that we're working on Smile and Dial daily. So I want to make sure that everybody understands, you know, we have at least a minimum of 10 calls that we want everyone to make. Okay. So if you have trouble getting your Smile and Dial logins, please reach out to your dealer owner or perhaps myself or Rodney if you're having trouble getting that answer. But we're going to go ahead and as we're doing our visits, make sure that we're getting back on Smile and Dial. We want to make sure we're executing on that. And then, of course, really wanting to target those CDMA migration efforts. So as you're taking bill pays, as you are troubleshooting, as you just are pulling up customers' accounts for any particular reason, whenever you see that option, please make sure you're using that phrase that pays. Hey, we can upgrade you, to the new network. We're going to give you a free SIM card. It's going to give you voice and data simultaneous capabilities, faster speeds, better coverage, and we can go ahead and do this for free. It only takes a few minutes. So any questions before we go ahead and wrap up this call?
Yes.
Hey, Candace, really.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Nope, they can ask the question first. This is David. I just wanted to say a couple words before everybody gets off. So.
Okay, thank you. Just real quick on the SIM switch, at the end on the last step where you have to uncheck that box, just in case, if somebody did leave the box checked and press OK, is there any way to reverse that?
Well, all that's going to happen is it's going to charge the $9.99 at
so
that
there's no
point.
way to put it back as free?
I'm sorry?
And so there would be no way to put it back as free after that?
I'm not quite sure. Is Robert on the call? Because he's kind of the Elevate guru. He might know. If not, I'll see if I can find out.
In most instances, you can change it to 0.00, Candace.
It depends on how everybody's
Yep.
system is set up. Yeah. If you're able to adjust the price, then you could adjust the price. But really, I think you just want to make sure that you have this box unselected.
I think you just want to make sure because everyone has slip up sometimes, and so.
Oh, I understand. I do understand. I think you should be able to back out and probably do it again. I don't see why not. But let me see if I can find a good answer from somebody who knows Elevate a little bit better than I do. So hang tight.
Yeah, we'll probably drop that in group me here in just a few.
Okay.
Chats.
Any other questions?
Hey, I was on a phone call on the other side, but I heard is Robert on the call to ask me about something. What's up?
So yeah, Chastity was asking about at the very end, what if you accidentally forgot, force of habit and you just clicked OK at this point and it put this in? Is there a way to go back and uncheck this?
So if you cancel the transaction and then download the transaction to point of sale again, it will ask you to load that SIM card, and then you'll have the option of whether or not to click select again.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that, Robert. Does that help, Chastity?
And just to clarify on that, when you say download again, you actually mean to go to existing account and to download the transaction to the POS again?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else?